try to evaluate where we are with the United States. I'll take off these percentages. Again, we've talked about this a lot. This is just as of March, 2025. Federal Reserve holds $6.4 trillion worth of U.S. federal debt. The total debt is $36.2 trillion. You put this in a percentage, and it looks like this. I'll take off the gross dollar of the Fed just so we can, because I'm going to start putting other percentages on now. All right. We've talked about this. We've shown this. The Fed's got room, at least with historical precedent during COVID, to go back to 30%, 27% of the debt. Monetizing. That means that for every dollar that's issued and outstanding to the public, that the public can own of U.S. federal debt, the Fed has 28 cents of it. All right, that was what it meant in February 2022. This was a historical high. Never had the Fed had that much debt. It had 15%, 18% at the end of the Vietnam War. And the percentage here actually only went down because the U.S. started issuing more debt to foreigners than the Fed itself was taking. Okay, so it's down now. All right, so at least from the perspective of monetizing debt, it's down. It's only 18 cents on the dollar that the Fed has printed. You can measure this stuff. The data's out there. You just gotta work through it. This is the Fed's monetization of the debt. Now we have foreigner holding of the debt. All right, I've shown this already as well in the past couple weeks. All right, so a peak foreigner holdings of the U.S. debt actually occurred after the global financial crisis. This was peak dollar safe haven status. This was, are you scared of the economy? That certainly the Federal Reserve had a hand in damaging. No argument from me there, but are you scared of it? Do you want a safe haven asset? Well, go into dollars, buy treasuries. This is peak fear. 2011, 35% of the U.S. federal debt was owned by foreigners. Foreign companies, foreign central banks, foreign pension funds, foreigners. That's down as well. That's now down to 23%. Now, I keep talking about it, just adding these up, and it's time that I actually just show you what's the American share now. When I say American, it means non-foreigner, non-Fed. Because the Fed, could talk about that all day, but it's not quite a government entity. It's not quite a private entity. It's not a fully private entity. It certainly has government oversight and all the rest, but people like to argue about that. That's not the point of this video. Non-foreigner, non-Fed ownership of the debt. Let's put it on now. All right. Now, as we know, we're looking through peak numbers here. This is probably going to be a peak low. We'll back it out. But a peak low here in 2014, this is after the QE123. A peak low is quite an oxymoron, huh? This is a nadir in the number for American ownership of its own debt, 42%. This is why you got to be careful if you're one of these Keynesians and likes to say that we owe it to ourselves. Not here. In 2014, we owed 60% of it, 58% to foreigners and the Fed. It's not to ourselves. All right, but it's back up. Generally, I'd say, though it's fine to have foreigners own debt, it's fine to have interest in treasuries. You want to be careful if this number is too low and too in the control of foreigners. But now it's back up to 60%. American. When I say American, I mean private individuals, those good old savings bonds, which no one buys anymore for their kids, pension funds, hedge funds, retirement savings accounts that hold fixed income securities, that is United States fixed income securities, 60%. All right, so let's back it out and see the trend. As long as I have all three metrics, I start this one. So as you might expect, back when the Fed was founded, and even during the Great Depression and World War II, most of private debt was held by Americans.